Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cindy Show today. I hope you're all doing well. And as always, I'm going to just wait for you to join. I hope that you can all see my screen. Hey, Nicholas. Nice to see you. If you would like to introduce yourself. Yes, Clifford, nice to see you. You already know what I was going to ask you. Where are you from today? And good morning and good afternoon to some of you. Hi from Italy. Hi, Danielle. And Paul, Jeff. Gary from Orlando, Florida. Lovely. It's nice to see so many repeat attendees. Welcome, everyone. I appreciate that you all attend. I really, really do. So thank you. Hi from Toronto, Hugo. Hugo is from SysAid. And he is one of our chat moderators today. Okay, let's give it another minute or so. I see there's still people joining. And then we can start. Hey, Justin, how cold is it in Montana? I doubt it's snowing, right? ,35 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so that's pretty cold because I know when it's 40 degrees, I think that's 0 in centigrade. So it's pretty cold on your side from the sounds of it. Okay, so I guess thank you all for introducing yourselves. I guess let's begin, and I'm sure one or two more people will join as I start. As you know me by now, most of you, and welcome to the Cindy Show, the Power Hour, which is our bi-weekly learning series designed for customers like yourselves. Each 1 hour session is usually hosted by myself, Cindy Civan. I'm SysAid's Director of Customer Success, if you don't know me by now. And I'm here to bring you expert tips, best practices, and support you with a live Q&A to help you level up your SysAid experience. Just a little bit about myself. I am now 8.5 years at SysAid, originally from professional services, as you all know, and now, of course, in the customer revenue department. And as promised, as always, I think we're in about the 15th Cindy Show by now. So I'm getting a bit, I'm not sure sometimes what to say that's new about myself, but today I did think of someone or something. It's my little doggy. I've got a Shih Tzu. Her name's Bella. She's 13 years old. So I'm a big animal lover. It hurts me to see animals in distress. I don't know if you guys are like that. If you are, you're welcome to post and let me know if you're the same as me or not. But that's just a little bit about me that I wanted to share today. Oh, wow, 2 guinea pigs. Wow, very nice. Okay, so it sounds like Danielle, you are an animal lover too, and Clifford and Bruce. Oh, that reminds me, I'm going to talk about my horse story in 2 weeks' time. Bruce, you've just reminded me. Thank you for that. Okay, amazing. So let's start. So today, my guest speaker, we're joined by Andrey Bannych. Let me just go to my next slide. Andrey is one of SysAid's highly experienced implementation managers in our professional services team. Andrey brings extensive expertise working in the professional services department, and I've invited him specifically to provide us with a demo on our CMDB module with the patch management overview. Andrey, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yep. Thank you, Cindy. Good day, good morning for each and every one of you. A bit nervous. This is like my first webinar where I need to present in front of over 50 people. So that's a first for me.
Now we're on 68, Andrey, so no pressure.
No pressure. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Cindy, for the good words. I'm not as experienced as you in SysAid, I've joined SysAid back in March. Although my background is mostly what you guys are doing. I've led a service desk team for the last 7 years at a different company. Basically, I was in your shoes, asking for others to do the workflows, to do the templates, and whatever changes we needed in the system. Now I get to do them on my own, and with the experience from my previous role.
Amazing, Andrey. Well, thank you for joining today, and you're going to be great. And I see you've got messages even in the chat saying welcome and you got this. So it's all good. We're here, and sometimes I make mistakes and launch the wrong polls. So it's all good. We're all together, and I feel like I kind of know everyone by now. But we've got a great audience as always. Okay, so thank you for the introduction, Andrey. Just to talk about today's agenda and some housekeeping. As you all know, please feel free to ask questions in the chat at any time. My team is here to assist in answering them. If not, we will get back to them afterwards. If at any time you'd like to set up a meeting with my team, I think you know the drill by now. Ella, if you could post the you can book me chat in our the you can book me link in our chat, not the you can book me chat in our link. Okay, as always, I'll be adding a few polls throughout the session, and I'd greatly appreciate your feedback. And a special thank you to my team, who are our chat moderators, for their support during today's session. And of course, for all of you for taking the time in your day to be here. I really appreciate it, and I love that you always join. And I really appreciate the good feedback that you've been giving on surveys and with some of the other CSMs in the customer revenue team. It does get back to me, and I really, really appreciate it. And I can't do any of this without marketing and my guest speakers and my team. So thank you. Okay. So let's go today. Let's launch before I start my little slide presentation. Let's launch our first poll, please, Ella. And it's poll number 1, which is: how would you rate your current visibility into IT assets and their relationships? So this is our first question, and you've got a few options in the drop down. I'm just going to wait for Ella to launch it. Ella, do you need me to launch it, or you're good? You guys, oh, there we go. Okay, thanks, Ella. How would you rate your current visibility? All right, so excellent, good, limited, poor, not using the CMDB yet. Okay, we'll give it a minute or so. What I am seeing so far is, and it's good to see some of you are on good, but the majority of you are sitting in limited. You're struggling to maintain the asset relationships. Some of you are on poor, and there's quite a lot of you who are using this or not using the CMDB yet. Okay, great. I'm going to end the poll. Thank you, everyone, for taking part. And let's continue. So we know, firstly, there was one person who said excellent. That is amazing. I'm very happy to hear that. And I'm sure that, that you will learn something from Andrey as well. Okay, so let's dive into the core elements of an effective CMDB. Okay, so firstly, when it comes to adopting the CMDB, especially in a system like SysAid, IT admins like yourselves will often face some very real challenges. And these aren't necessarily technical, but more behavioral or cultural. So first, this is what I mean, is that there's the old versus the new mindset, right? So many teams are still comfortable with using emails, spreadsheets, Google Sheets, or even phone calls to manage your assets or your incidents. So moving to a structured CMDB can feel like a big shift in a workflow. Then comes a bit of maybe a little bit of adoption anxiety, where a lot of admins worry that using the CMDB will be time consuming, complex, or just another tool to maintain. When in reality, it's designed to seriously make your lives easier by centralizing and automating your information. And finally, as always, there is a fear of change. And even if the benefits are clear, there's often hesitation to change something that's sort of working today, even if it's inefficient. So our focus today is to help you all see the long-term value and getting you started with SysAid's CMDB. And just to let you know that these challenges are valid, but they're also solvable with the right approach and support, and that's why we're here for you today. Okay, so first, some of the key benefits of SysAid CMDB. We've got, first of all, it gives you improved visibility across your IT environment. You can see exactly what's there and how it's connected. It also leads to a faster incident and problem resolution because you're not starting from scratch. When something breaks, you already know the context. Relationship mapping is another powerful feature. It helps you understand dependencies between assets, which is critical for impact analysis and change planning. And Andrey is going to show you a topography of an actual network where you actually see how the CMDB is connected, like how is the computer connected to, how is the laptop connected to the server, which is connected to whatever else, and you'll be able to see a full topography of how networks are working when you're actually utilizing the CMDB. You'll also have full flexibility with customizable CI types and fields that will fit your organizational needs, and it will become your single source of truth, centralizing asset data and reducing duplication or manual tracking, which essentially is where we want to get you today. And lastly, SysAid's CMDB, it's not license-based. You don't have to pay for any license, which means you're not paying per user per asset. You can scale as needed without any hidden costs. Okay, so I'm going to turn it over to Andrey because now it is time for our in-product demo. Andrey, I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to let you share and take it from there.
Thank you, Cindy.
Pleasure, and I hope you don't mind. I'm going to probably interrupt you with some questions from the audience today and so forth. So just warning you in advance.
No worries. Just a short disclaimer, if I can say so. I have my other screen on top of my laptop, so I'll be looking up. So don't think I'm not. I'm looking at something else. Yeah, it's just my bigger screen, which is on top, so I'm looking at it. Okay, so as Cindy was mentioning earlier, let me actually try and show you a topography. Yeah, so I'm going to go to settings, actually from the assets on the CI list. Yeah, these are all the CIs. Now, a lot of them have been imported from the asset management. Yeah, you can see we have end users, we have companies, we have catalog items, software products. They have all either been imported from the asset management or have been manually created. Yeah, we go to settings, and we'll have the import settings. Yeah, and I strongly encourage you to do that. Yeah, check all of them, and it will automatically import a new asset into the CMDB when a new asset is detected. Yeah, remove it from the CMDB, and again, import new software products, delete whenever it's deleted from the asset management part. And you can also import users to it. Okay. Now, relationship types, yeah, consists, it's basically part of, installed on, used by, or uses, connected to, or accessed by, and hosts or hosts on. Okay.
Before you move on, Andrey, because I know that there's a lot of different consists. It's part of, this is obviously how you're connecting the topography of your network. Like what is there like a best practice or something like number 4 where it's connected to? Is that are there any of these CI relation types that are best practice or most commonly used?
Based on the use case scenario, and I'll need to show a topography first. So I'm going to go to the CI list and show you, like, for example, the physical server. If I'm going to go on the relational graph, I can see that on this physical server, this one hosts a domain controller, it hosts an email server, and also hosts a SAP server. On that SAP server, it also hosts a DB. And these are the affected by. We can switch it to see affected on. And I can see that if this breaks, then HQ and SysAid agent might have some issues.
Okay, so it's pretty much, it sounds like you're going to use a little bit of everything.
Yeah, because basically you have to set it up in such a way that you can see who basically uses it. If we're using a user scenario, right? So the user would have like a laptop assigned to it, a phone, I don't know, keyboard, mouse, monitor. Those will be the assets assigned to a user. Now the user, in order to use those, it will need like the HQ, a location to work for. That will be the dependency. And let me actually try and see if I can have a user. Let me filter by CI type. We have end user. And we have Rana, and let's see, doesn't affect anything, but affected on. We can see that Rana has an iPhone assigned to her and that she's working for company A. Now she's not affecting anyone, and so it's a standalone user, and we can add additional items to Rana, right? So click on it, PI relationships, and let's say I want to say that Rana uses, and I'll choose monitor. I have my CI selected. I'm going to change, and I can see that I have a monitor assigned to it. The monitor is an asset. CI subtype is a projector. Of course, you'll be able to define those whenever you're going to be creating that asset, that CI.
Okay, amazing. And Andrey, you said that there's obviously different ways to import CIs. You said you can import your assets. Can you tell us, and I don't know if I'm jumping the gun, maybe you're getting there, so you can stop me if I'm jumping the gun, like different ways to bring in CIs, like what is the way that customers should usually follow? What is the best practice?
Best practice from my standpoint would be to use the asset management. And to import from the asset management. So whenever a new device is scanned and pulled into SysAid, it creates a CI as well. And we have ways to import. We can import from a delimited file, from a CSV, or from directly from the asset management. So this is my recommendation.
Thanks, Andrey. You can continue. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Now, let's go back and let's try and search for, I think it would be better if we search for server, probably, service center, no service center, network component. I don't have anything in this test environment. Physical database, we have a sub database. That's affected. Okay, this would be a better one. Yeah. So we have the sub database, which is hosted on a sub server. Yeah, the sub server is based on this physical server, and this physical server is in the HQ, right? So this is basically, if I add something else to the physical server, it will be displayed here. Yeah, but if I go back, and let me check for a user. Yeah, what else I can see? I can see help desk, and here I'll have the history of the tickets which were created, and we're mentioning this user, for example. And it's the same for anything which is in the system. So you can check if, for example, a server had had any issues, if the server had many incidents in the past, if there were outages on that server. So it can help you improve your network given the use case scenario with the server. Yeah, because you can see that on that server there were like, I don't know, 5 incidents in the last month. Yeah, and the cause to that incidents were not different, but they were all pointing towards I don't know, memory issues. And so that says that you need to change the memory on that server. Okay. Any questions?
So I see that there is a question here from Jason Morris. If the CI in use by the user is changed, would it update from SysAid, or would you need to then go and manually update the graph?
So if it's a manually created CI, then yes, it would have to be updated manually. However, if it is imported from the asset management, so if we're talking about a phone here, I'm not sure if the phone would be a good use case scenario, but let's say Cindy has a new iPhone provided by the company and replaces her Samsung, for example. Yeah, the scan will detect that a new iPhone has been detected, therefore assigning it to Cindy as per the asset management part. Yeah, and given the fact that within the import settings, we're telling SysAid to import anything which is created as an asset, yeah, it will come into CMDB. But if, for example, Cindy's keyboard is replaced and that keyboard is manually created as a CI, then you have to go and manually update that entry. And because it hasn't been scanned by the agent.
Okay, so for example, if you've updated something in your CI list, if you can take us back to the CI list. If you've updated something in your CI list, and let's just say you've swapped users or made some kind of a change, once you've made the change in the CI list, will the graph automatically update?
So for example, this one is just company A, right? So let's take its Axel. Actually, let's use Rana. So CI relationships, she has a monitor and an iPhone. Yeah, I can just go ahead and delete it. And within the relationship graph, well, it's no longer showing.
Amazing. Thank you, Andrey.
Not a problem. Any other questions?
I don't see any other questions yet, but please feel free to ask any questions. Otherwise, you can continue for now, Andrey. Thank you.
Okay. Now, I have shown you how to add those new CIs. So you can create or you can import them from a CSV file. Yeah, but the CSV file must have these columns. And so if I go back to settings, scroll down to import, yeah, I will have, these are the fields which I need to have on my file. Yeah, and I can have it scheduled. Yeah, I can provide it a path and I can have it scheduled so that it picks up every day, it picks up my my CSV file and it will update. So you can still do it in an Excel for the old-fashioned way. Okay, but if you go with the asset part, then that shouldn't be an issue. Yes, it will recognize the duplications and it will not duplicate. Basically, it will recognize that there's already an asset there and it will not create another one. That was for Jason.
Andrey, we do have some other questions. I see, I'm going to get to Jeff's one because that's very interesting. Maybe if you could walk everyone through what Jeff has written, but let's just go to Ilona's question. if you delete the phone, is this available in a free list somewhere? If you remove a phone from somebody?
No.
Okay. Thank you. And Jeffrey Brown is asking, where is the best place to start with developing the CMDB? Should we start with creating the types, the subtypes, or just try and import? So I'm happy to answer it, and maybe Andrey, if you can walk everyone through. I remember from the past when I used to do this, I would start off with the types and then move on to the subtypes and start from there. And as you can see, there already are CI types there, but you can obviously create new ones. So Andrey, could we go through this step by step from the beginning, just to like literally create a new one and go through it from there?
Yep. So we'll just create a CI type. We're going to call it, go with animals, wild animals. Yeah, we have our newly created. We have the CI type, we have the description, and now for the subtypes, we'll have to select our newly created animals. Yeah, and then a subtype would be lion, for example. Yeah, I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add tiger, and I'm gonna add what other animal? Cheetah. Yeah, so we have a new CI type, which is animals, yeah? And we have a subtype which will depict, which will be dependent on the animals, right? So CI relationship types. Yeah, we have consists, installs, used, connected, and accessed and hosts. Yeah. Now, if I am to, let's say, what should be the use case scenario here? Trying to think of a best use case scenario.
I guess maybe if I can make a suggestion is if you want to link that specific tiger to the animal, how would you, that's where you'd obviously do it in the relation type, right?
Yeah. So, so I have my end user and the relationships. Let me add, say I'll be a part of. Part of. Oh, that wouldn't be a good case. I have any. A new one. Actually,
Andrey, what is specifically that you wanted to do in this specific scenario to add the relation type?
Yeah. So have the animals, and then we have the subtypes.
If I stand to be corrected, and I could be wrong, do you not have to add, would you not have to add the CIs first, go through the CI template, and then add the CIs from that section?
So we have animals. And then we go to
And what's
line.
really nice while you're setting this up, you can actually have categories for your CMDB, everyone. And I know we've done categories previously together, so you can have specific categories selected for your CMDB as well. It's in the same place where we added categories previously together.
Okay, and we'll say that this is already in production.
And you're in this section now, right, Andrey? Because you're manually adding CIs now, right? Because we've already shown the CI list. You can import them with the import settings via the asset page, and this is a third way to do it. Let's just say you want to bring in or add 30 iPhones, okay? And you obviously want to do that manually because it's not going to be picked up on any type of agent or anything like that. This is where you would go into the CI template and actually create these 30 cell phones, for example.
You can select the supplier, and then you can select the supply date when the iPhone was granted, when it was accepted, and then create it. And now let's go back. And user. Yeah, and we'll just relationships, and we'll add as users. I'll have to have here test. I'll say it. I don't know.
Okay, so Andrey, let's move on because I just want to be time sensitive because of patch management.
Okay.
Just to go through what we've previously looked at, we've seen the CMDB. We know that what you can bring into the CMDB is absolutely anything. It can be catalog items, it can be anything from your assets, mouse pads, monitors, as you saw the whole list of CI types. but it can be contracts, it can be absolutely anything. So it doesn't necessarily have to only be IT equipment. You can have absolutely everything in your CMDB. There's a few ways for you to import them. Like I said, from the assets, from the import, and creating them manually. And then what you would do is then you would obviously map them, as in how is it hosted or not hosted, or how are they connected? And you would land up doing that afterwards to obviously make sure you get a good topography of your network. If you have any questions about CMDB, feel free to even type them in the chat now. Before we move on to patch management. But I hope that gave you a good overview of how the CMDB works. And if you've got any questions, again, please feel free to ask. Okay. Or just feel free to type as you are already. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Share screen number 2. And before we do anything, let's launch our second poll. So, Ella, if we could launch our second poll, what is your biggest challenge with patch management? If you can let me know, what is your biggest challenge with patch management? And you should all be able to complete the poll. That would be amazing. Okay, and let's see. A lot of you right now are, in fact, I'll wait for you for a little bit so that I don't sway your decision. Okay, but a lot of you are all pretty much across all options. Tracking missing patches is the majority. Testing before rollout is coming in second place. Timely deployment is coming in third. And then reporting and compliance, and then we don't have a challenge, which is amazing. Okay. All right, so thank you, Ella. The main thing is tracking missing patches and timely deployment. Thanks, everyone. All right, so just a little bit about patch management. Okay, I'm not sure why this is on the going down from the bottom, but this is one of the things that patch management does assist with, and that is lowering the risk of downtime. Okay, now it's going from the top. Amazing. I love making these mistakes in my presentations. It makes it all the more better and all the more fun. Okay, so firstly, automated patch management helps eliminate manual effort and ensures that critical updates are applied consistently. Okay, so with built-in vulnerability scanning, you can identify security gaps before they become real threats. Real-time patch status monitoring keeps you informed on what's been patched and what is still pending. So there's no guesswork. Okay, and just something that's important is that we do support third-party applications, which means you can manage updates for more than just your own operating system. All of this leads to improved security, greater visibility across your environment, and ultimately faster remediation when issues arise. Okay, I've already mentioned the lowering the risk of downtime, and I've already mentioned faster remediation. Okay, so Andrey, over to you, and let's go through the overview of patch management and go from there.
Sure thing.
Let me stop sharing.
Started sharing, so my screen should be coming up. Okay, hope my screen is visible. So the first thing which I want to take you through, guys, is the patch management policy. Yeah, we have two out-of-the-box ones: patch management policy and the server and the workstation policy. Yeah, so workstation default policy. If you click on it, you'll see the vendor and the classification. Yeah, for example, we have Microsoft security, and then critical updates, and then we have additional additional softwares. And we have Adobe, Apache, and so on. And these applications are going to be provided by the agent, or if you're using a different solution for asset management, which communicates with SysAid, it will be listed here. Yeah, so we have all these software which are currently available. Yeah. And this is the default policy for workstations, right? And this is where you can approve automatically or not. Yeah. So for Microsoft, everything which is security, yeah, it's approved automatically, yes. For the ones that are not, you can go with no, or you can have a change service record submitted for it. Yeah. And you can have different policies for different groups of machines. Although for the workstation policy, majority of our clients are going with just one, but you might have like I don't know, a DevOps department who cannot do their job if their net framework is not a certain version, which is an older version. And so you would like to have a different policy for those machines. Yeah, but we'll get there shortly as well. Yeah. Then the next tab is the scan schedule. Yeah. So basically, when SysAid is scanning your entire the entirety of your assets, yeah, recommendation is to have it in a different. So basically, scan the system. I don't know, maybe on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, between I don't know, 10 to 1 p.m. when you know that majority of your users will have their machines turned on. Yeah, so that's when SysAid will scan the machines for any missing patches. The next tab is the patch scheduler. Yeah, so again, schedule it in such a way that majority of your users will have their machines opened at that time of the patch timeframe. Yeah, reboot setting. Yeah. Depending on your organizational needs, you can have the user to decide. You cannot don't reboot it, and the user will reboot at his own pace, yeah, or immediately after deployment. Or you can set up a specific interval where the device will be open, will be reset, yeah, and the message which is going to be attached to the that notification. Yeah. So once you have your policy done, yeah, once you have reviewed all of these approvals, yeah, you need to attach the assets. And we can see that this policy is assigned to these three machines. Yeah, so create new, select the items which are going to be assigned to the policy that you just created or reviewed. Yeah. The next one is the server default policy. Yeah, that's very similar, but majority of them or all of them should have change requests because we're doing changes to a server, and therefore the impact is a lot bigger than it would if a patch is deployed to one of the machines, and it will cause that machine to malfunction. Okay, now we cover the policies, and you can create your new policy. Okay? Just have to give it a name for the ones that are going to be like special cases for the DevOps team, for example, the one that I mentioned previously, where they don't want their framework to be updated to a newer version than 4.0, let's say. Okay. Now, when it comes to patch management settings, you can have, and I think the better answer for it would be this part here. So if you go to assets and go to patch management, yeah, and you can see here the patch names. Yeah, I'm currently reviewing the missing patches. Yeah, but I can change to see what patches were installed or what patches were approved, but I'm more looking to see what patches are missing. And this is an old environment, and therefore it's not that accurate. But if you have some missing patches, this is where you can find them. Questions? for myself.
I just want to see if there's anything. Samira said that patches fail to deploy regularly for us with this error. What does this indicate? Samira, I'd probably say the best thing is to open up a ticket for support at helpdesk@sysaid.com. Andrey, is it something you could answer? Do you know why patches sometimes fail to deploy regularly? If there, I mean, obviously I'm not sure what the error is that Samira is referring to, but do you know if there's a specific reason why?
I'm looking at I'm trying to enlarge this window, but I can't actually full screen. Patch.
I think it's something that customer care should look at, Samira. If you could send what you've just sent in the chat to customer care, they'll be able to help you with that. And Gary, yes, patch management is a separate paid license. We usually sell them in bundles of AEs. Help me out here. I think it's in bundles of 50. And if you would like one of your AEs to contact you, I guess, Ella, we can, in bundles of 50, thank you, Hugo. If you would like to speak to one of your account managers or AEs, of course, that you can obviously book a meeting. We posted the link earlier. Any other questions about patch management?
Looking at Jason's last question for patch management, can deployment ring or tiers be implemented or set up to control the rate of timeliness where the patch is to be applied? Or would this need to be a completely separate policy designed to exempt privileged or sensitive devices? So yeah, this would be a new policy that you'd have to create. And once created, you can assign those assets to the policy. Just like my use case scenario where the team of developers machines, they require net 3.0 and we are already at 5.0. So we don't want to deploy that patch because it will ruin their other software which are going to be impacted by that update.
Thanks, Andre. I see that Jim has asked, how do you assign a policy to an asset? Could you please show them, Andre, in one of your examples that you've got?
Yep. So I have my list of assets. I'm just going to take one of them. And then I have my patches here. Yeah, it's currently disabled. And therefore, I will not be able to enable patch management on this device.
You don't even have a license, but I guess that's where you would do it.
Yeah, so I'll need to go to my policies. Yeah, and for my workstation policy, attached assets, and I'll add the assets from the list, which the ones that have patch management enabled. Yeah. So once you have the policy created, assign the assets to that policy.
Amazing. Thanks, Andre. Austin has asked, is it best practice to use SysAid Patch Management exclusively? As in, should we disable other methods of patch management like group policy so they don't interfere with each other?
I would still stay with the group policies.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. Was there something else? There could be something else that I've missed. And I know that there were a lot of CMDB questions. I know my team is working on them and answering them. David and Hugo, I can see you're very busy. So thank you for that. Any other questions for patch management that we can try and help you with? I'm not sure if I've gotten to all of them though. Okay, so let's move on because we've just got a few minutes left, and I just wanted to update you on one or two other things. Thank you so much, Andre, for joining.
No problem.
Okay,
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again. This is something that you've all been asking for desperately. The first thing is all of the Cindy Show recordings. I'm just going to click on it and you're going to see they all have been added to our knowledge base. I know that some of you have asked for things like how to add a new department or the self-service portal, and we've done it. So I'm going to take this link and I'm just going to post it in the chat for all of you. Please save it. It's not only the link to the Cindy shows, it's our full knowledge base. So this is where you would go. So please feel free to see the previous recordings. And like I said, I've already posted it in the chat. And then I don't know if you all know about the admin alley. The admin alley is a specific place where you would go. Pleasure, Joseph. The admin alley is a specific place where you could actually go to order. Let's just say you wanted to order admins or more asset licenses. It's very quick and easy. So I'm going to post the link in here. We'll follow up. Ella, let's follow up in our email that we sent to everyone with all of these new links that we've got. And I'll just post here the admin alley. And there you go. It's, of course, your account managers are here to help you. We're here to support you. But if you do need to place any orders online and you're desperate and you want to do it quickly and you don't want to wait for a quote, please feel free to use our admin alley. You would literally just log into the account with your email name, your name, and your account name, which is usually obviously whatever the account name is in your assets. And you're going to check my account and you literally see the pricing should be correct, and you can very easily just order there and then. Okay, let's launch our next poll, please, Ella. I would really like to hear from you guys what other topics that you would like covered in upcoming Cindy shows. Your text answers would be amazing. While you're busy answering, I'm going to post the link for, we've got 2 other Cindy shows that are already booked. The one on the 29th is for spaces, navigating spaces. I'll be walking you through that. And then there's going to be a move to cloud. So here's the link for more registrations. You can register there. And if you want to obviously join the next, but I'd love to get your feedback on what else you would like to see, because we've done quite a lot already. So let me know if there's something, and I'm going to keep this poll going for another few minutes. The old episodes, I've just posted a link above there, Adam. It says, I'll tell you where it says, the admin alley, where you click on, wait, hang on a second. Did I post the correct link? It's a support video knowledge base. Let me just post it again. Maybe that didn't. Here is the old recordings. There we go. There's the old recordings. Thank you, Adam. And let's move on before we wrap things up. Okay. And we're going to launch our next poll, I guess. Cindy's Lounge, which is very quiet, and there's a lot of people that do like to join. I actually leave it open all the time, and I'd love for you to join this channel. Seriously, if you join the channel, if you've got questions about what we covered today, patch management, CMDB, or anything else, adding a new department, if you've got questions, just ask. We're here for you. I have put that it's open on every Thursday at 9 a.m. EST, but right now, because it's been pretty quiet, it's pretty much open all the time. So feel free to ask any questions. My team and the rest of the customer revenue team are here to support you. So we'd be happy to help you. And if you would like to join, please type in your email address. I'll send you an invitation by tomorrow. And it's a Slack channel, like you can see, and it will be really good to have you part of the Cindy's Lounge, as long as you ask lots of questions. That's all. Okay, everyone. Well, that's pretty much it from myself. I hope that you found this very, very helpful today. Andrey, thank you so much for being our guest speaker. If you have any further questions about patch management, CMDB, please follow up with us. We're here to help you. And thank you all for joining. And to my chat moderators, who are always amazing. And enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.